Hi, Dr. T here. Today we're going to be discussing love bombing, and this video might be a little bit longer, but I want to make sure you have all the information that you need to understand the subject. Some types of abuse, such as physical harm, are more easily recognizable by friends and family. Love bombing is more challenging to recognize as it's manipulation disguised as affection. Narcissists and abusers use love bombing to gain trust quickly, making their partner dependent on their approval and affection. Over time, the relationship turns from passionate to controlling, leaving the victim feeling confused, vulnerable, and trapped. So let's get into how love bombing works. At the beginning of the relationship, love bombing creates a sense of euphoria. The abuser might shower their partner with constant praise and flattery, making them feel adored and special. They may give extravagant, expensive, or over-the-top gifts and gestures, or move the relationship forward at lightning speed, talking about a future together very quickly, discussing marriage, moving in together, or making other long-term commitments, creating a sense of urgency in the relationship. Once the victim is emotionally invested and feels deeply connected to the abuser, the dynamic shifts. The love and affection that was once felt so intense may be replaced by criticism, emotional withdrawal, or manipulation. The victim often tries to regain the affection they once received, making them more susceptible to control. This push-pull dynamic keeps the victim trapped in the relationship, constantly seeking the validation and affection that they experienced in the beginning. The cycle of extreme love and sudden withdrawal makes it difficult to recognize that the relationship is abusive. While love bombing can feel like an overwhelming display of affection, there are specific red flags that signal it may be more about manipulation than genuine love. Here are some signs to watch out for. Overwhelming affection in a short time. While some people may be naturally expressive, love bombers tend to take it to the extreme, creating an intensity that feels unnatural. Moving the relationship too quickly, which creates dependency and emotional attachment. Constant communication. Love bombers tend to overwhelm their partner with constant communication. Text messages, calls, social media interactions are constant, leaving the victim little time to themselves or to process their thoughts. Grand or extravagant gifts or gestures that feel over the top. While gifts can be a thoughtful way to show affection, love bombers use them as a tool to create a sense of obligation and control. Fluctuations between love and criticism. Once the love bomber feels they've secured control over their partner, their behavior may suddenly change. They may start to criticize, withdraw affection, or create distance, leaving the victim confused and desperate to return to the euphoric early days of the relationship. Isolate from friends and family. Love bombers often try to isolate their partner from their support system. They may insist on spending all their time together, discourage their partner from seeing friends or their family, or criticize their loved ones to create a sense of dependency on the abuser. Love bombing can have a profound emotional impact on the victim. The intensity of the initial affection creates an emotional high, making the victim feel loved and cherished. However, once the abuser shifts their behavior to criticism or emotional withdrawal, the victim is left feeling confused, anxious, and desperate to win back the affection they initially received. This emotional roller coaster can lead to feelings of low self-esteem, self-blame, and a constant need for validation from the abuser. The victim may stay in the relationship hoping to return to the early days of intense affection, not realizing that they are caught in a cycle of manipulation and control. Over time, love bombing can erode the victim's sense of self-worth and independence, leaving them emotionally dependent on the abuser. Recognizing the signs early on is crucial to protecting yourself from falling into this toxic dynamic.
If you or someone you know is in an abusive situation, call the National Helpline at 1-800-799-SAFE or text START to 88788. Everyone deserves a healthy relationship.